Hello, guys. Today we are going to study the simple present. The simple present tense is one of several forms of present in English. For example, we have present continuous or progressive, present perfect continuous or progressive, and today we are going to study the uses and the structure of the simple present. The simple present has four uses. For example, habits. We use the simple present, to express habits. For example, he runs every morning, she wakes up at 7 a.m. every day, and they watch television regularly. Another use is for repeated actions or events. Something that repeats every day or every morning or every specific time. Example, we catch the bus every morning. It rains every afternoon in the hot season. They drive to Monaco every summer. Another use is for general truths. For example, water freezes at 0 degrees, the earth revolves around the sun, and her mother is Peruvian. She is from Peru. Another use is for fixed arrangements. For example, his mother arrives tomorrow. Our holiday starts on the 26th March, and the class starts at 8 a.m. This is just the uses. Now let's pay attention to the structure or the form. Remember that in English it's very important to say who is doing the action or who does the action. Remember, we have seven subjects: I, you, we, they, he, she, and it. We are going to divide these subjects into forms. Let's start with I, you, we, and they. When we talk about I, you, we, and they in simple present, we have to use the verb in simple form. I live in Manhattan. You speak English and German. We work out every morning, or they work out every morning. As you can see, the verb is in simple form. Now, in order to do the negative form, we have to use the auxiliary don't and the verb in simple form. I don't live in Paris. I don't speak English and German. They don't work out. We don't work out. This is to talk about the negative. Now, in the interrogative form, we use the same auxiliary, do. After do, we have to use the subject, who does the action, and then we have to use the verb in simple form. Example, do you speak French? Do we work out every morning? Do you live in Manhattan? The short answer for these questions is yes, I do, no, I don't, or yes, they do, no, they don't, depending on the person. Now, when we talk about he, she, and it, the verb changes. As you can see, the verb has an S. This is to represent that the verb is in present tense, in simple present tense. For example, he speaks Japanese. She has a big family. It starts at noon. The verbs have an S to show that we are talking about he, she, or it. In the negative form, we are going to use the auxiliary doesn't and the verb in simple form. You don't have to add an S. Example, he doesn't speak Japanese. She doesn't have a brother. As you can see, I don't have to use the S because I have the auxiliary doesn't. Now, in the interrogative form, I use auxiliary does, the subject, and the verb in simple form. For example, does he speak Spanish? Does it start at 11 a.m.? Does she have a big family? The auxiliary helps the verb to show that it's in present simple. Now, the answer can be different. You can say, yes, he does, no, he doesn't, or yes, she does, no, she doesn't, depending on the person. Now, how do I know when to add an S to the verb? First, because you're talking about he, she, and it. Now, what kind of verbs have an S? All the verbs have an S. For example, speak, speaks, start, starts. But some verbs have a different ending. Let's start with the verbs that end in Y. For example, fly, flies. We have to eliminate the Y and we have to add an IES. Cry, cries. We have exceptions. For example, play, plays. Stay, stays. In this case, we don't have to change the Y for IES. There are other verbs that have a different ending. For example, the verbs that finish with double S, X, SH, CH, and O, you have to add an ES. Example, he passes, she catches, he fixes, it pushes, he goes. As you can see, depending on the ending, you have to add an ES. I hope this can help you understand. Don't forget to use the correct form of the verb and don't forget to practice.